my story is a very typical story. As a matter of fact, I was just looking at some statistics yesterday, and I think being solely dependent on Social Security for my only source of revenue puts me in the 38th percentile of the recipients in King County anyway who are living on Social Security. That means that what we are receiving now is all that we have, and so the suggestion that it be reduced in any amount would increase the poverty level that seniors are facing, and which I understand is just increased also. I have worked all of my life. I first contributed to Social Security when I was a junior, just before my senior year in high school. I think I was making 50 cents an hour taking care of 3 children in the house for a family. And that was in the summer of 1951. Probably a very minimal amount that went into Social Security, but that was the start. As a single mother, I raised and was the sole support of 3 children, which meant the money that I was able to make working full-time just barely kept us above water. And when I look back on it, sometimes I wonder how I did it, in those days. It was not easy, but we did muddle through. And I know that my story is similar to that of a lot of other women who were going through the same thing, and who now probably are living solely on Social Security, having raised their children. One of the things that concerns me so much now, and why I want to speak out, is that I know that there are women throughout the nation who are still working and are the sole support of their children, and eventually will be in the same position that I am in. And to reduce or to cut the benefits that those women have worked to put aside is absolutely will be disastrous for their welfare. So I really want to raise the cry for the fact that there are coming generations for whom Social Security will be so very, very important. One of the things that we could do to see that what people are receiving now is protected, and to see that perhaps there would be an increase in what the minimum amount of security is to take off that ridiculous cap that we have placed on the withholding for those wealthiest of people with the largest incomes. I think that cap is probably one of the biggest problems that we have, and it's probably one of the easiest solutions that the government can look to. So I'm really concerned about that. Secondly, I am fortunate enough to live in subsidized housing, of which there is a drastic shortage. Public housing throughout the nation has been reduced over the years because the allocations to HUD have been steadily going downhill. At the same time, the need and the population that's demanding and needs this type of housing is increasing. So while some cities have destroyed their housing because they weren't able to maintain it, we've been able to maintain ours out here in Washington, but we definitely need to see that there is more housing available. The idea that we have veterans living in the woods because they can't find a place to live is a sorry comment on our economy. And so I would just like Patty to remember that for the sake of coming generations, Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security have to be protected. I have a daughter with a disability, and she is living now with Medicaid. If she were to lose the medication that she desperately needs, I don't know what would become of her. So it's something that's very personal to me too, and I just am offering my plea on behalf of my family and future generations to do what you can to preserve what we so desperately need.